The woman who fell more than 70 feet to her death in a cycling accident was a firefighter here. She served Toronto Fire for more than 12 years. We are live at station 443 in the West End, where they are mourning one of their own tonight. Good evening. This is the spot in Milton, the Kelso Conservation Area. It's very popular with cyclists and hikers.
And it is also treacherous. The firefighter, SARA, ROSEN, was out with a friend when something happened and she went over the cliff.
CTV's John Musselman is on the scene tonight. John, this is a delicate and dangerous recovery process for these firefighters.
And that's taken the delay into effect here, Michelle, why they haven't been able to recover the body. Anyone who's driven down the 401 and sees the escarpment in the distance, there are bike trails and walking trails up there, and you can get very close to the edge, and when you look over, it is straight down. And that is the problem they're dealing with as they try to recover this woman's body.
Emergency crews used all-terrain vehicles to try to access the location where it happened. A 35-year-old woman, identified as Toronto firefighter SARA ROSEN, was riding a mountain bike. She plunged more than 20 meters over the edge of the escarpment at the Kelso Conservation Area in Milton.
It's extremely dense. There's exposed rocks.
Police say it happened around 10:20 this morning. ROSEN was riding with a friend when it happened. The friend called 911. ROSEN died at the scene. The challenge now is to recover her body. Investigators are using a drone to survey the area to determine the safest way in.
She was operating on a trail which has been explained as an extremely difficult, high experience level trail. At the bottom, where the body is located, it's just dense rock formations. It's hard for us to maneuver our equipment and the necessary personnel to remove the deceased.
A member of Toronto Fire Services arrived at the scene late this afternoon to offer support. The conservation area has been closed for the day while emergency crews work to recover ROSEN's body.
And I spoke to a member of the Toronto Professional Firefighters Association. He knew SARA ROSEN. He says this is a very difficult day. He also told me that she was a very experienced mountain biker. We just got an update from police on the scene. They are at that location now working to recover the body. They're hoping to get that work completed before nightfall sets in. Reporting live from Milton, I'm John Musselman. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, John. CTV's Scott Lightfoot is at Toronto Fire Hall 443 near Islington and Eglinton, where SARA ROSEN served. Scott, first responders we know are a tight-knit group. Have you spoken with any of her colleagues?
Well, the firefighters on duty here have declined to speak with the media today, likely still dealing with the shock and the grief that will be setting in after the events of earlier today. We do, however, have a statement from the Toronto Professional Firefighters Association, which reads in part, "It is with profound sadness that we learned of the tragic accident to one of our own, Sarah. Sarah had 15 years of service with the Toronto Fire and was a truly proud member of Local 388. The statement says she helped with many of the charity events. She was also a City of Toronto Positive Space Ambassador. On behalf of the Toronto Professional Firefighters Association, we offer our heartfelt condolences to Sarah's family, friends, and co-workers. As you know, being a fire station, those co-workers will continue to work here, even though they've just been handed this news. The Firefighters Association also tells us that just over 12 years ago, Sarah actually donated one of her kidneys to a brother who was in need." Reporting live, I'm Scott Lightfoot. Kenny Michelle, back to you.
Thank you, Scott.